beautiful scenery here across the water. You can see that's Port Angeles and Olympic Mountains, and the trail that's over here goes to Macaulay Point. I think the first time I went to Macaulay Point was in 2009, so that's 17 years ago. It's a historic point. It's been used by the indigenous people for fishing and various things like that. It's been named Macaulay after an officer working for the Hudson Bay Company who was in charge of Wind Farms, which was the massive farm in this area, covering basically most of what is Esquimalt now, and producing farm food for, well, mostly the military base that was here. And at Macaulay Point, once we get there and take some more videos, there's a lot of fortification that's left over, but the original fortification was made out of wood and just contained 3 guns, and that was built in 1877 when Russia was fighting the Ottoman Empire and they were trying to take over Constantinople. The British Navy was not in support of that, and they sent their ships, and it was possible that Russia and the Great Britain would get into a war. So because of that, fortifications along various British territories were erected, and Esquimalt was one of them. We had wooden fortification with some guns on it, which was later improved into better fortifications during World War I and during World War II. And then shortly after World War II, there was no need for it, so it was dismantled. The remnants are still there, which we'll go take a look at. And now I think it's a National Historic Site, so preserved. I'm now at one of the gun sites at Macaulay Point. This wasn't the one that was first constructed in 1877. This is the one that existed much later after that, because the original ones were on wooden structures and only 3 guns, and then they were replaced with much more advanced stuff, like this one, which I believe was called the disappearing gun. So it would go into that hole when it needed to be reloaded, and then would pop up, take its shots. As you can see, perfect opening into the harbor, minus this bush that's growing there, and then they would pop it back down, and the ammo would come from there, reloaded, while being protected by the fortifications if any incoming fires, and then would come back up and take more shots as needed and keep reloading. Not a lot left. Some structures still remain, like that lookout tower, which I'm gonna go to it soon. But if you've seen the videos I've done at York Redoubt and other places in Halifax, what a massive difference, because there is no graffiti here. There is no entrance gates or anything. No one's supervising it, and still it's beautifully preserved, unlike the stuff in Halifax at York Redoubt or Point Pleasant Park. Everything's covered in graffiti. And this is a nice place for people to come running, walk their dogs, or collect berries. Just the kind of view you get from here. Beautiful. So even if you had to be stationed here, wouldn't be the worst thing, as you can enjoy these kind of views. And no action ever took place here, so you just had to monitor the guns, probably go through various training regimes, but the fighting never made it here, neither from 1877 and 78 from the threat from Russia, nor World War I, nor World War II ever saw any kind of action in this location. Enjoy some berries while I'm here. They're still pretty sour, not quite ripe. Maybe these ones that have been in the sun more. Yeah, not ripe. Another cannon site. And with the view that it has for its firing positions. And now I'll head to the top. Well, I'm at the top now. Fantastic views from here. You can see where the gun positions used to be as well. It'd be actually cool if they still had the guns, or at least a replica of them, just to show what it looked like. Or I guess they could have even had the original guns, or guns that were here at some point. An interesting fact is that Canada's first naval warship was HMCS Rainbow, and after that ship was decommissioned, the guns were taken off of it and they were brought here, and they were used to defend the entrance here to the harbor. There's some history explained here, which I talked about at the beginning of the video. I won't read everything that's here, but maybe it shows up on the video and people can verify if what I said at the beginning was correct or not. Hopefully it was, at least to some extent. And that completes my visit here. At the beginning of the video I said this was a historical site now. I guess it's technically not qualified as such, just as it's became remains federal property and is a park, so it is protected, but I guess the designation is a little different than a National Historic Site. Still very interesting, very nice place to visit. And I'm glad it's not covered in graffiti like a lot of the historical sites and fortifications are in Halifax.